thing is, you're not really toilet paper. You look like toilet paper. You kind of feel like toilet paper. But I have to use 10 times as much of you. You know, what is that, like half a ply? I mean, it's like 2 sheets of my normal stuff. Look, it's not your fault. The question is why? Why even make you? It's the way they made you. Don't worry. I'm gonna find a way to give you purpose in life again. See what kind of fun we can have. If you have a paint can, or can get a paint can, and if you can get one, see that gray coating on there? That's not ideal, but it'll work. If you can get the inside of the can to look like the outside of the can, get that kind of can. What also works great is a coffee can. The only difference would be is you're gonna have a plastic lid, and you'll see why that will be an issue later on. I want to get the core out of this. There we go. Out. Believe it or not, you can get this inside, but it's gonna be a struggle. So the easiest way take that off. Now, in the can, open back up that core part, like that. Time to put this back. Wrap it kind of tight. Voila! So what am I gonna do next? Magic. Enter denatured alcohol. It's basically grain alcohol that's been denaturalized. Basically, they put poison in it so you can't drink it. Just fill it up. And you're gonna keep on doing this a few times. It's gonna keep soaking in. This part can be a little bit of a process. The time it takes to soak in will start getting longer and longer. Walk away, come back, you'll see it soaked in. But just take it till it's 100% saturated. It just won't take any more at all. Now that we've got it as full as possible, it's just a little bit of liquid on top, so that's fine. I take some rocks. Just put it in like that. 4, 5, 6, depending on what size they are. And in case you haven't caught on yet, essentially what we've made is a giant alcohol candle. And these rocks will control the height of the flame. The less you have in there, the more robust the flame is going to be. The more you have in there, the more contained, smaller it'll be. I happen to have some of these, I guess they're lava rocks that came with a little gas fireplace, and these were leftover ones, so all I did was take one, put it in a pillowcase, and smash it. I'm not going to do that to that one because I still have plenty from the one I broke up. Waste not, want not. But again, you don't have to do it that way. You can just go find some rocks. They're about this size, and that's all you gotta do. I just did this because I happen to have it, and they're sitting there not doing anything. So I gave them something to do. you can use this as a heat source outside. Here's where that comes into play. This coating is going to burn off on that can. You can warm your hands, dry something out. You could take even 4 rocks or anything you want to prop up on there and cook over it. Probably be good in a tree stand. If you have citronella, this would make a killer bug candle in the summertime. Matter of fact, I'm definitely going to try that. I don't know. It's something to do with it. I'm certainly not going to use it to wipe my anymore. So let's see how it works. Here's one I've had made for a little while. Now, one thing, I guess, make sure you have something to get the top off. If you were to take it somewhere. And voila! Oh yeah. It burns pretty clean, so it's hard to see the flame. A little bit of breeze comes and turns it orange every now and then. And when you want to put it out, so once you extinguish it, let it sit a little bit. Let it cool down. If it's cold, it won't take very long. And then, because it's alcohol, it'll just evaporate. Seal it up like you would a paint can. You don't want to do this too soon, because that heat that's left over in there will start to expand. So, give it a second to cool. Voila. Ready to go for next time. I have no idea how long these burn for, but I imagine a very, very long time. Okay, I lit this one earlier. This time, I will light the new one that we just made. So that yellow flame is going to mostly go away once it's done burning off the coating that's on the can. But for the most part, it burns blue. So there you go. One thing you can do with that coated toilet paper. It's sizzling. I'm kind of really liking that insect repellent idea. I think that'd work good. Logan wants to test out his new micro spikes, which are different than the exo spikes, right?
Yep. They have
These.
shark teeth on them.
I finally found them in his size and in his color.
Yay!
Because it's always good to test your gear.
At home.
Yep. Before you have to.
It works.
Yep.
And they're also shark teeth, which I like. I love sharks.
This is the first time you've ever seen micro spikes on a pair of Crocs.
Yep.
I guarantee it. How do they feel? Logan is trying out his new Outdoor Vitals under quilt and top quilt set.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
What do you think? It's pretty warm?
Yeah.
This is going to be a summer rig, but right now it's basically at summer temperatures.
Yeah.
We are at 46 degrees.
That's actually warm.
Which is about as low as it's going to get on anything we do in the summer.
Huh.
And this will shed a lot of weight off your current system. Each of these is under a pound or around a pound, so he's going to cut his sleep system basically in half as far as weight. They're
I'm
both
about to fall asleep in here.
about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
There you go. I wanted to check it out because I made a modification. I put this on because the factory cords stop right here, which is fine if you have a short hammock, but we use 11-foot hammocks. just to get a flatter lay. So I added this shock cord and put one of these little, I don't know what they're called, these little guys that you push and can adjust, and it seems to work out pretty good. So what do you think? 2 thumbs up? All right. All right, so now it looks the same, right? But this is an Outdoor Vitals 15 degree, which they have a color coding system. So blue is 15, red is 30, and I think green is 0. This is Logan's other piece to his war chest that he got, just to kind of fill in that gap at the beginning and the end of the shoulder seasons, where if you go out, it might get a little cold tonight, and really if you're going to do anything, you want to beef up the temperature rating on the underquilt. If you're going to get cold, it's going to be because of your underquilt. And I just wanted to dial this in now that I saw them in the other one, so I don't have to fiddle around as much when we first take it out. So I made the same thing for this one that I made for the other one. It's just easier to leave them on there rather than potentially forget and not have it once you hike out there. So these are made for adults, with a caveat. Outdoor Vitals is a ultralight company, which is great for Logan because he's carrying less weight, and I can make this work, but it takes some fiddling. They are very small. You really have to know how to position things, and if you're someone that moves around a lot at night, you're probably going to get woken up and have to adjust a few things, because they cover you, but they barely cover you. So for me, I'm not an ultralighter. I will take convenience and comfort every time. So if I had to go ultralight, I'll borrow Logan's, but I'm going to use my long hammock gear underquilt, which is another ½ pound, but I don't have to worry about it. I'm in it, and I fall asleep, and I get to sleep all the way through the night. But for Logan, being how small he is, this works out perfectly. It does the same thing as mine does. This isn't going to give him cold spots. So that's a look at Logan's new underquilt and top quilt setup. Now, the reason I say that it's a little tricky and more of an advanced level underquilt is because most people will sleep with a diagonal lay, and essentially what that is you don't want to sleep like a banana. Some people do, but most people will sleep at a diagonal lay. That gives you more of a flat lay when you're sleeping, and so your feet, in my case, my feet would be on this side and my head would be over here. And this quilt, as I said, you can do it, but you really gotta kind of fiddle with it a little bit and get it to just barely cover you. And I'm not that tall. Someone that's 6'4" is going to have another piece of insulation in their foot box, or maybe over here, because their feet are going to stick out past where the insulation is, and you're going to get cold. A lot of people just take their sit pad and shove it in there, and that works fine. But again, I don't like to have to deal with that stuff. I just want to go out, crawl in, and go to sleep for 10 hours. I gotta show you, don't I? So this is how I sleep, unless I realize the view is better that way, and I don't feel like flipping the hammock around. I'll just flip me around. Some people have a specific way. It doesn't bother me. I can just do this. As you can see, my feet are way up here. And that quilt's way down there. Now it might be better this way, although you can't see it. This is the way I have it dialed in for. The other thing that you'll get used to doing is the old shoulder tug. And make sure that's up. That's off my shoulder on that side, but it doesn't matter because my shoulder's not going to be up. My feet. Yeah. They're nice. It's not for me. If I ever want to go super ultra light, I'll ask Logan if I can borrow one. I think he'll let me. The other thought I had with these was if I ever want to do really cold temperatures, I will, of course, ask Logan if I can borrow one of his underquilts, and I'll stack them. I'll put mine over top of his, and that'll get me down lower than anything in Pennsylvania is going to get me. I mean, you're probably good to -10. But if I put mine and a 15 degree together, I should not worry about it. I don't get cold that easily. My feet never get cold, and there's always other things you can do if you find out that it's not quite cutting the mustard. But there's a deer running through the yard, making all kinds of racket on the ice. But anyway, Logan's not quite there yet. We got to ease into that for doing some colder things, so maybe Daddy will take a solo one of these times. But, the weather looks like it's on the uptick, and I missed a bunch of opportunities to test and see how cold I could go, just because it's been a rough start to the year for me, and I haven't really been able to get outside as much. But hopefully we're almost through that, and we'll be able to get back out there and start getting on some new adventures, some new trails.
Yeah.
So you can even run on ice, huh?
Yep, but here's what makes it tricky for some ice. There's these holes in the ice, like right here, and there's water under the ice. So in some spots when I run on it, the water goes up through the holes and just sinks down.
So yeah, we really wanted to just say hi. Let you guys know we're still here. We'll be getting them back out there pretty soon. As I said, from the start of the new year on, it's been a little rough for me. We had to cancel our first trip last minute just because I came down with this ear infection, and I still have it 6 weeks later. It kind of got drawn out. Didn't really catch what it was at first, as far as what kind. Ended up with like a ruptured eardrum. Got a culture done. Now we're on the right treatment path, but it's still hanging in there. It doesn't want to go away. There's all kinds of different little side effects of that. The cold was very painful to go out into. Balance is another thing, which ended up, I took a pretty good fall in week 2, down some steps, and really cranked my back. And I'm no stranger to back pain. I've learned how to deal with it over the years, but this one made me nervous because the normal tricks weren't working. But I think I got that at least somewhat back to normal at this point. So yeah, that's my woe is me story, but just wanted to let everyone know that Logan and I are getting ready to get back at it. get Logan back out on his trails. And I think we got some pretty cool adventures lined up. Whole list of trails, and hopefully everything works out and continues to work out, and we'll be back out there. So we'll see everybody on the trail.
And always see you on the next trail.